Hey, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into something really fascinating. Those invisible psychological blocks that they sabotage our success, no matter how hard we try. We're going to figure out how to spot them, what they're all about, and most importantly, how to rewire our inner blueprint to actually achieve what we want.
So let's start with a question that I'm pretty sure hits home for a lot of us. Have you ever felt like you're driving with the brakes on? You know, you're putting in the hours, you've got goals, but it's like something unseen is just pulling you back. It's not about a lack of ambition, for sure. So what is that invisible force? What's really going on?
Well, one answer comes from this really interesting method called Systemic Constellations. It's basically a way to diagnose and fix these unconscious loyalties and scripts that get in our way. You can think of it like looking at the invisible software that's running in the background of our lives. You know, the old family roles and beliefs that are calling the shots without us even realizing. Okay, so first up, let's talk about our first major roadblock. This is what I call the emotional time machine. We're going to see how the past isn't really in the past at all. And you might be surprised to find out that you're operating from an emotional age that's way younger than your actual one.
This right here perfectly sums it up. Think about it. Our old family roles can totally hijack our professional lives. Maybe you were the peacemaker or the responsible one or the golden child. Decades fly by and suddenly you're in some high-stakes business meeting and that old programming just kicks in. All of a sudden, you're not a 35-year-old professional anymore. You're basically a teenager just trying to get approval. And your nervous system, it flips from thrive mode right into pure survival mode.
All right, next up, let's look at the incredible amount of energy we waste on just looking successful. Psychologists sometimes call this emotional masking, and let me tell you, it is one of the biggest drains on our mental energy.
And this chart just nails the difference. Look on the left, surface acting. It's like you're a duck, right? Looking all calm on the surface, but paddling like crazy underneath. This constant performance just burns through all the mental energy you need for actual strategic thinking. But then on the right, you've got authentic action. This frees up that energy because you're not faking it anymore. One path leads to total burnout, the other leads to real, genuine progress.
Now, this next idea is absolutely fascinating. It gets into how experiences from generations ago, I'm talking way back, can still be messing with your decisions today. Turns out, we inherit a lot more than just eye color from our families. We can also inherit their fears and their beliefs around what it means to be successful.
So here's the real kicker. Your brain might be using a totally outdated blueprint. If, say, for your ancestors, getting wealthy or becoming well-known led to disaster, maybe they were exiled or lost everything, your nervous system might still see success as a life-or-death threat. And so it actually sabotages your opportunities. Not to be mean, but to keep you safe based on this old, completely irrelevant data. Wild, right?
So the big question is, how do we break free from all these patterns? This is where the real work starts. It's all about making a conscious shift from being a passive passenger, just reacting to these old scripts, to becoming an active pilot who's actually in control of the plane. This table just lays out the fundamental mindset shift we have to make. You see, the passenger is always waiting for a boss, a parent, the system, whatever, to give them permission to be successful or happy. But the pilot has a strong internal locus of control. They give themselves permission. They believe they're the ones who decide their own destiny.
And this, right here, is the ultimate goal. It's called temporal agency. It's that powerful, incredible feeling of being in command of your own time and your own life. You're no longer just a boat getting tossed around by the waves of past programming. You are the one at the helm, steering toward the destination you actually choose.
Okay, so understanding all this is one thing, but making these changes actually stick, that takes real, concrete action. Getting that aha moment is the first step, but it's integrating that new awareness into your daily life that creates lasting change.
So here are 4 really practical things you can do to start rewiring your brain. First, say your new goals out loud. Seriously, it helps build new neural pathways. Second, organize your physical space. Create what's called territorial comfort, and actually lowers stress. Third, and this is a big one, stop comparing yourself to others. It literally activates the pain centers in your brain. And finally, be intentional with your time. You decide how your day starts, not the other way around.
So the main thing to take away from all this is that clarity is the spark, but consistent action is the fuel that keeps the fire going. This whole process isn't some magical one-and-done thing. It's about taking that new awareness and then acting from that new adult strategist position day in and day out to get those results you want.
And that leaves us with one final thought to really chew on. Just take a moment and think about the invisible scripts that might be running your life. Because spotting that inherited blueprint, that's the very first step toward rewriting it and finally unlocking your own true success. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.